Ashley? Are you thinking about the bishop?
For the first time, I'm properly in love. Am I supposed to spend the whole of my life alone?
I don't know. I mean, is it wrong, you and me? The bishop's not very happy about it, is he?
This is a rural parish. It's not a big city where things are more readily tolerated. But how can loving someone be wrong? Maybe the fact that we've been sleeping together does make things a little awkward, but...
But he's your boss, I suppose, and maybe he expects you to behave in a certain way. Do you think we should call things off?
No. No, of course not.
But if you're going to get into trouble...
Bernice, please. It'll be fine. It will.
Your mum and I were thinking of setting something up for you tomorrow evening. You know, like an end-of-exams party for you and your mates. What do you say?
Well, here?
Don't worry, we'll be here, obviously, but we won't embarrass you. Might even fetch some alcohol in.
Well, if you don't want a party, you can throw a bash for me.
You haven't just finished your GCSEs.
Well, no, but I've been dead good at school this week. That's always worthy of a celebration, isn't it?
Forget it.
Have you told him you're working tonight?
Your exams aren't over yet.
Oh, I've only got one more day. I can't do more revising.
Well, fair enough, son. Well, at least he's not planning to sit on his backside for the summer holidays.
Not only do I win the election, I also beat you back to the village.
The voters you managed to convince will rue the day they ever put their trust in you. Of that I've no doubt.
Oh, come on, Alan, never such a bad loser. If you'd have won, I'd have patted you on the back. Instead of which, may I offer you my heartfelt commiserations.
Stop gloating, Eric. It's a fix, Grandad. Everyone did say they were going to vote for you.
At least you didn't fare as poorly as this one, Alan. Only 2 votes. I don't know how she stayed so composed.
Never mind, Viv. It's a bit like the Eurovision Song Contest. Somebody's got to be Norway.
Oh, don't you Norway me, Eric Pollard. Just wait till I see all the people in this village that said I'd got their vote.
Don't take it to heart, love.
But I'm famous for my diplomacy, and what more do you need to be a good councillor? I'd have been an ambassador.
Let's get inside. Leave him to it.
I hear congratulations are in order.
News travels fast.
I keep my ear to the ground.
I bet you do. Not quite the outcome Tate Horridge might have liked, eh?
How can my granddad not win? Most people voted for him, and I know that for a fact because I confronted them on the way out of the village hall.
Well, maybe they didn't like to say otherwise, Tricia.
Maybe.
Still, you got a holiday to look forward to.
That's true. I went Adam good to me.
How's Spanish coming along?
Well, I'm not one to blow my own trumpet, Kathy. Am I, Bernice?
I can truthfully say I've never heard a single blast from it.
No, but seeing as you asked, Carlos has as good as told me I'm an exceptional linguist. Tricia, he said, Tricia, I cannot tell you how well you're doing. But I'm not going to go bragging about it. Anyway, I better be off. Sort things for opening. I'll see you two later.
See ya.
Ta-da.
See you later. Talk about self-delusion, bless her.
Oh, she's harmless enough.
Still, now the election's over, you can look forward to Australia.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You can put all your energies into spending time with Alice now.
I just hope I'm doing the right thing and going over there. How about you, Bernice? What are you going to do about the bishop?
Oh, I don't know, Kath. I mean, Ashley seems to think it'd be all right, but I'm not so sure.
I wish there's something I could do.
Me too.
Never mind, Mrs. Windsor. They don't know what they'll be missing.
A few marbles is what they're missing. It's as plain as the nose on your face. I was the only candidate they should have taken seriously.
Morning. Just that, thanks. So, did you win?
I never win. Do I?
Mrs. Windsor, I don't know what you're trying to say.
She was married.
Well, I hope you have a nice day.
Just go.
Are you all right, Mrs. Windsor?
I'm fine. Why shouldn't I be? Just lost the election. I've been on my own for months. I'm fine.
You've got me. You know that, don't you?
Of course I do, Emily. But sometimes it's...
Has Richie upset you in some way?
You know, some people have everything, and they still get offered more. Their cup runneth over. I think I'm going to go and get changed. Maybe this look doesn't really suit me.
Why don't you have a lie down while you're up there? I'll look after the shop. Take as long as you want.
Oh, thank you, Emily. I don't know where I'd be without you. And I mean it.
So, Lisa and Jason are going to start working it pretty much as soon as I've gone away. I'd rather not be here, so I hope you don't mind me leaving you in charge of it, Diane.
Of course I don't. And if you don't mind me saying, you've picked a decent colour scheme. Not that the place isn't charming as it is.
I think it's what Bernice was saying about the Woolpack. Now, she wanted to redecorate to signal a fresh start, you know? Paint over a few old memories.
And you're doing the same?
Yeah, maybe. It's a bit like getting a new hairdo, isn't it?
Talking to the wrong person, really.
Yeah, what I mean.
Oh. Oh, hey, try cheering him up. He's had a face as long as a fiddle all day.
Oh, never mind, Alan.
I can't see who could have voted for Eric Pollard. You didn't. How could you?
Alan, it's not that I think he's more honest or anywhere near as decent a man as you.
He's unscrupulous. And he's capable of blackmail, as you well know.
We don't know that for sure. And even if his methods aren't completely scrupulous, maybe he'll find a way of making things happen, help protect the village, and that's what I care about.
Is nobody what they seem? You were supporting me initially. I'm beginning to think I don't know where I stand with anybody.
Got something on your conscience, Vicar?
No, Mrs. Birch. Have you?
Some of us have spent our entire lives free of sin. It's not for forgiveness that I pray to our Lord. Now, seeing as I've caught you in the act of what I should hope was repentance, I'd like a word.
How may I help?
You'll not find me, or quite a few others who attend this church, referring to you as Reverend from now on.
I see.
We'll be sticking to Vicar. Reverence is reserved for the sacred and divine. I dare say your bishop has made that very clear to you.
Is that it? Is that all you came to say?
No, Vicar, it's not. I told you I'd act. And act I did.
And what if I told you I decided to leave Bernice? To renounce her? For appearance's sake?
And have you?
Why can't you see that I'm in love with Bernice?
You have a duty to your parishioners. She's not your wife. And she's a landlady, and a loud and flighty one at that.
What does it matter that she runs the Woolpack?
That pub is a den of vice. And I don't know what she laces her beverages with, but ever since she showed up, this village has been overrun with carnality.
But I love her, Mrs. Birch. I love her with all my heart.
You will be punished for your brazen ways, Vicar. You just see if you're not. I'll not stop until you are made to repent.
Well, I was a bit shocked, I must say. Thought bishops wore tall hats, long dresses and carried gold staffs before them. Still, I suppose that is a bit much if he's out and about.
And is he saying you can't stay together because you're not married?
Well, to be honest, Mum, I don't really understand it. I mean, OK, Ashley's a vicar, and vicars are the ones who marry people, but surely you're allowed to court someone first.
So being engaged would be no better?
Oh, I don't know. Even so, you don't get engaged straight away, do you?
Well, you did. You had Gavin's ring on your finger in little more than 2 days.
Yes, and look what a disaster that was. I mean, you've got to get to know someone first. Take it slow. Surely the bishop sees the sense in that. I mean, no wonder there's so many divorces. People rush into things.
Yes, but the thing is, the bishop probably doesn't mind that you're courting. It'll be the fact that you share a bed.
I know. And I don't want Ashley to suffer professionally. I mean, I know he loves me, but he loves his vocation too.
It won't come to that.
Thanks for coming to see me.
Well, you called me. What do you want?
I just wanted to correct you on what you assumed earlier. I think it's for the best that you won today.
Are you trying to flatter me?
Oh, I know you've been no friend to me or my company. But I dare say you'll be the kind of councillor that I can come to some sort of arrangement with. A mutually beneficial one, of course.
Are you implying that you might be able to influence me in some way?
Well, only if it was really worth your while. Yeah. I'm certainly not suggesting that you get involved with someone who couldn't reward you for your efforts.
Huh. Well, in that case, I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. I do warn you, my consultancy fees are very heavy.
So, what do you think's that one?
It's a bit expensive.
Well, you pay for quality, Emily. I mean, I can't be seen walking round intact.
Better leave by the back door, then.
See if ditch your twin set and pearls.
Are you planning on ordering all the clothes that you've ticked against?
Of course I am. I mean, what's the point in earning all this money if I can't treat myself? This radio show is going to buy me a new wardrobe and bring in the new season.
I hear you had a visit from the bishop. Not before time, I'd say.
Is it suddenly everyone's mission to make me feel like a criminal?
If it came down on you like a ton of bricks, you got what you deserved.
It is none of your business.
I want my family to live in a village where the local vicar is a decent role model.
And showing love for another human being, that doesn't strike you as a positive thing to portray.
You're an unmarried vicar who is shamelessly flaunting his floozy. Family values are being trampled into oblivion in a stampede of moral decay.
I am not flaunting anything, and I'd appreciate it if you keep your nose out of my affairs.
And did you say that to the bishop, too? You can't go around preaching about sex before marriage when you're revelling in it.
I'm not listening to another word of your nonsense. For your information, the bishop made things very clear to me, and I know exactly where he'd like me to stand, thank you.
You tell her, Vic.
Furthermore, the voice of reason was soundly defeated at the election, and I, for one, am delighted and not wondering how or why.
So how's things? Yeah, it's okay, I suppose. Looking forward to finishing your exams? Yep. Get the parents off your back, yeah?
Yeah, I wish. My dad's not so bad, it's just my mum. Slightest thing and she's off. It's like she's still at work and with petty criminals.
I remember being your age only too well. That's what's so great about living at the cottage, you know? No parents, no nagging.
Yeah, I bet. You just do what you like when you like.
You love it. Much more than living with your folks, believe me.
Right, these carrots are done, then what next?
Yeah! Chop up the onions. Oh, cheers. Hey, it's all about working your way up the ladder, young man.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Many happy returns of the day, I reckon. Congratulations on your astounding victory in the election.
My. Is this all for little me?
On Bernice's instructions, I can't think whose idea it was.
Let him have his moment, Alan. It'll be short-lived.
Is it your birthday, Mr. Pollard?
No, Seth. That's why there is a cake and candles. Hey, I'm 55.
sorry, I must not listen to Bernice's instructions properly.
You're our new councillor and all. Does that mean drinks are on you?
It does indeed, sir. May I ask, did you vote for me?
Of course I did. So did Betty.
Well, then you can have 2 pints, and thank you for your loyalty. Excellent. Thank you very much, everyone. This is really quite...
Oh, well, that's all I need.
Viv, a piece of cake? No pun intended, of course.
Mr. Pollard, Mrs. Windsor may have lost, but that's not to say I'm sad to see you win. I just hope you'll continue to campaign for justice.
My dear young Emily, you have my word. I shall fight Tate Horridge until I get all the answers.
Anything you can do, it'll be much appreciated.
I'll say one thing. Can't be good news for Tates.
Aye, so it can't be 100% bad then.
How do you mean?
Never mind.
All right, sir. What's this?
It's for you. My cheque came through earlier from the radio station and I wanted to treat you.
That's fantastic. Oh, I love you, Mandy Dingle. Oh, I love you too.
I'm not having it, Grandad. Not in here.
It's all over, Tricia. There's nothing more we can do.
So come on then, Seth. When you cast your vote, you told me it was for me Grandad. Mandy, Paddy, you all gave me the nod.
I did vote for Ellen.
Me too, honest.
Oh, that's funny then, isn't it? Funny how Eric Pollard won the race.
I think you and Grandad should face facts.
Whatever happened to truthfulness and loyalty?
Oh, they went out the window. The same way as family values. You room full of traitors.
Viv Windsor was barking at me and I just snapped. I know I shouldn't have done, but she just wouldn't stop. You look very serious.
I think we need to talk. Ashley, I don't want to get you into trouble. You've been a vicar for a long time and you're very happy, and I don't want you to jeopardise anything because of me.
I'm so sorry you've been involved in all of this. Things are problematic, there's no point in denying that. I had hoped that people would have minded less, but clearly I was wrong.
I just don't want you to suffer.
My suffering, my real pain, was when I wanted you but couldn't do anything about it. You've made me happy for the first time in my life. I feel complete. And I couldn't bear to give you up, Bernice.
But things aren't as simple as that, are they? I mean, you work for the church and people aren't happy.
I know, and I couldn't bear to lose my vocation either.
Maybe we need to be more discreet. Maybe then things would calm down.
Maybe. But can you imagine it, Bernice? Having to lock ourselves away, not talk about each other, keep things formal in public?
I just want to protect you from any more trouble. Look, I'd better get back to the pub.
Right. I'll come with you.
Have I upset you?
No, of course you haven't. You confused me a bit, that's all. You've been quite distant since we...
Went to bed. Oh, come on, stop worrying. I'm very fond of you, Alan, and I love the time we spend together. It's just... I don't want to commit to anyone. It's just the way I am, right?
Well, as long as that's not just a line.
If there's one thing you know about me, it's that I'm upfront about everything. Well, except me wig. But that was because I knew you liked blondes. And you've got to forget about Eric Pollard's victory. Life goes on. Anyway, you going on about council business would have got dead boring.
I'm never boring.
No? Well, keep it that way.
Well, decency and restraint didn't last long, did they, Viv Windsor?
Do I tell you how to dress?
An orange juice, please, Mr. Turner. Where's the flame-haired harlot tonight? As if I didn't know.
What did you call my daughter?
I don't dress things up, Diane Blackstock. Never have and never will. Make no bones. It won't be long before she and the vicar are duly dealt with. You mark my words. Have you seen anything of Mrs. Sugden and that young boy she's living with?
I try and avoid them.
So, they've not been using your shop then?
Look, will you just drop it? I don't want to think about them, all right?
Oh, here we go.
We'd better not.
Flagrant to the last.
Come on, Ashley, let's go through to the back.
No. I think we should have a drink in the bar.
Not only does he go against the express wishes of his bishop, but he chooses to flaunt his fancy piece in public.
He wants defrocking. If you don't back off, Edna Birch.
No, leave it, Mum. I'll deal with this. We're really not doing anything wrong.
That's a matter of opinion. Pardon, Viv.
He's a vicar. He wants to learn to practice what he preaches. This Sunday, I dare say he'll stand up there and he'll speak about permissiveness and debauchery. But he'll not be preaching against such things, because quite clearly he's their champion.
Now, that is enough. You've no right to speak as you do, and it's time you were stopped.
I'm not the one who's in the wrong.
I happen to disagree with you. You want me to leave Bernice, either that or hide away, but I will not hide away for the simple reason I am not a hypocrite. And furthermore, I am not ashamed.
Well, you should be.
Why should I be? I love Bernice. God knows that I love Bernice because he can see into my heart, and quite frankly, that's all I care about. What anybody else thinks is not important. Do you hear?
It's my business. I am part of your congregation.
And being your vicar means I have to spend the whole of my life alone, does it?
Ashley, come on.
No, Bernice, I will not put up with this for another second. This may come as a shock to you, Edna.
It's Mrs. Birch to you.
But my being a vicar doesn't mean I'm any less in need of intimacy than any other person.
Oh, you're shameless.
I have nothing to be ashamed about. I have made a commitment to Bernice because I know and she knows that I love her dearly. And there is absolutely no way I will be told how I should behave towards her by you or anybody else.